Today on Motorhead Garage, we're installing door handles from Trique Manufacturing. Genesis Offroad gives your engine a boost with its dual battery kit. Then Sam has a story on how ClampTite saved a trucker. And finally, Dave is talking suspension. All this coming right up.
Hey, welcome to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, look what I'm in here, an old 56 Ford pickup truck. Believe me, this brings back a lot of memories because when I was a kid growing up at a farm there in southern Indiana, this is what I drove most of the time, an old blue pickup truck. We called it the Blue Goose. Anyway, the thing you run into with these old vehicles is things wear out. And one of the things that's wore out on this is, of course, the door latch. Well, that's what we're going to fix today. We're going to fix the door latch, and Sam can tell you all about it.
What Dave's talking about here is from our friends at Trique Manufacturing. They got the Altman Easy Latch Kit, got preformed metal panels that go in there. Of course, has your latch bolted to it. You get everything you need in the kit to get rid of the door problem. You get nice stainless steel hardware, button heads. You get billet strikers. You even get little attachments so it works with the locks. And of course, whether you got door handles or you got shaved door handles, they got the application for it. And of course, they got an interior group. They make all kinds of nice billet stuff. Putting a set of these latches in will really upgrade this truck. Dave, show them how it's done.
Here's where we are, folks. We got Terry Altman here with Trique Manufacturing. He's the founder of this. And Terry, you know, how did you get involved in it?
Well, this started out of necessity, Dave. I had spent 5 years redoing a 55 F100, and when I got it all done and painted, and assembled, and ready to go to the show, I couldn't get the doors to work right.
I was reading through the instructions. Seems like it's a piece of cake.
Pretty easy. Get the latch out.
Now let me see what
Right
you're
here.
doing here. I'm going to show the folks what you got going here.
There's a little tab on the end of this door lever.
All right, Terry, these are relatively simple, aren't they?
That's right. We just gotta get this latch off. That's the original latch.
Let me see that now. Okay, so this is what the original latch looks like, and you can see it's been weathered a lot, been over a lot of miles, but these things do eventually wear out, so we'll put on a new one. All right, in the kit comes a template like this. Now there's a line right here, and what Terry's done is he's marked it on the other side as well. Now, take this template, and it'll work for either side, the right or the left. So Terry's going to line it up here with
line it up
screw
with the
hole.
inside original latch hole right here.
Okay.
Just fold it on the corner, mark around it.
And you're just going to mark around it then. All right, now once he's done that, we get the mark off of there. Then the next step is we're going to take this little cutoff saw and we'll cut that out. All right, now Terry's got the holes all drilled in here, and now before we mount this, something I want to show you folks. We got the handle off, and this is, of course, the button here that you push to open it up. Well, on the inside, and we want to show this to you before we mount it so you can see what's going on. Right in here, this is an adjustment. What we want to do is we adjust this so when it pushes against this latch, as you can see, this is what opens the latch here. We can adjust this so when you just barely push it in, why, it'll unlock it. So we want to show you what this is all about, but we have to adjust this once we put it in. Okay, Terry, go ahead and put that in. Okay, so now the next step, Terry installed our lock plate. Then after that, we installed our handle. And then after that, Terry went ahead and hooked up the lever down here to our handle in here. Now let's check this out. Here's what happened. I'll go ahead and trigger this. We adjusted our outside door handle here, so we had just a little play, and that works fine. Do this, let's check on the inside. That works great there, Terry. And you got the striker now mounted, so all we have to do is check this out and see if the door will close. Okay, Terry, let's see how well you did. Go ahead and close her. You're a magic man. It looks like we might have to do a little bit of an adjustment on that, but overall, it came out pretty darn nice. So there you go, folks. Terry, I want to thank you for stopping by. And your Trique manufacturing lock here is terrific. Now, by the way, what you might want to think about doing too is once you've got it installed, you may want to take it out. You can paint that so it'll match. It'll be perfect. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we got a lot more here on Motorhead Garage, so stick around.
Time now for the industry update.
You know, if you got a nice classic car, keep it with the classic look. It's a great way to go.
It is, but if you'd like to have that current technology with your car, no better way to go than with custom Autosound. And this is the old radio we've taken out of this car, and look what we've replaced it with.
Yep. This is the custom Autosound slide bar radio. It's a 300-watt radio, AM, FM stereo. Got all kinds of features. It's got RDS, where you can see the artist in the song and all that kind of stuff. And it's got 7 selectable colors. You can change the display by the owner.
Well, the other thing too, Sam, is you can put a lot of different accessories with this thing. They got a whole bunch of different speakers you can add to it.
Right.
300 watts, you can push out a lot of power.
Yep, and it has a iPod input, it has a play and charge USB port, you got aux out, you got place for RCA connectors in, it's got all kinds of great features.
Plus, they got the speaker systems for these, they got an amplifier for it, and they even have kick panels with new speakers in it. So you want to upgrade it, put the kick panels in here, you can go ahead and do that. You can paint them, upholster it, whatever you need to make it look right.
Custom Autosound's got you covered. You want real good power, great sound, all the features of a brand new car, and still have the classic look. So when you look in the dash, it looks like the AM radio. It's a great way to go.
All you have to do is check out their website.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories. All Fit Automotive, highest quality universal lip, all fit lip kit. VR12, ultimate cooling system protection. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, look what I'm working on here. Nice little Jeep. You know what a lot of guys do is they add a lot of accessories to these things. The problem is most of them don't have the power or the electrical capacity to handle all those accessories. So what I've done is I've taken the battery out. I'm removing the battery tray and everything. Because wait till I show you what we're going to be putting in here to handle all that extra power you're going to need. Sam?
I'm here with Shane Smith from Genesis Offroad. Tell us about this little product you built here, buddy.
Okay, so Sam, this is our new dual battery kit for the Jeep JKs. It holds 2 Group 34 batteries into the tray here. Our tray holds the factory fuse box in the same location. And then the lid that goes on top to hold the batteries down has a smart isolator that watches the batteries and handles connecting and disconnecting them when it needs to. You've got a power and ground bus bar here for hooking up your electrical accessories. You got extra grommets in the lid for routing your wires to the terminals here for your lights, your CB, your fridge, whatever.
Okay.
You put your high amp accessories on the center stud. You got a boost button here for jump starting yourself if you can't start off the cranking battery. And then when you set this lid down on top of the batteries, all the wires are routed through the lid and lined right up with the battery posts. Takes all the guesswork out of installing a dual battery setup.
That's awesome. You don't need wire strippers, you don't need to do any cutting,
That's
nothing,
right.
just all hooks on.
All pre-wired out of the box.
That's a great way to go. So this is for the Jeep. Now you got a little port here, I see that. What's that all about? Looks like a communication port.
This is an interface port for our monitoring system. So Jeep doesn't have a voltmeter in the vehicle. So we have a little 1-inch LCD screen here that functions as a push button. It shows you the voltages, it tells you if the batteries are connected or disconnected, and gives you an in-cab version of the boost switch.
That's awesome. Okay, listen, Dave's over there working on that Jeep. Don't let him do too much alone. Come over and help him. Let's take these display batteries out. These are good.
Yep, these are just dummy batteries. All right, Dave, you got the tray out. So our tray drops right in place of the factory plastic tray.
Okay, go ahead, just drop her in there.
Drop this right in here, all the way to the firewall.
Yeah, slide that under there.
Yep, just like that, and that goes on the bolts on the firewall.
There we go.
Sits right down in there.
Hold on here.
Yep.
Let me get this up here.
There you go. You got a heavy-duty bracket down low on the lower fender, and then this bolt will put that fender bolt right there.
Okay, that'll fit like that. Then our next step was we installed a new battery box, tightened it down, and then we adjusted some of the wiring around now.
Then we dropped the fuse box right onto the tabs on the tray.
And that worked out fine. Then I had to go ahead and cut off the filter mount off of the old battery box. We installed that, mounted the filter, and then tightened up the tube on that.
Right, to reinstall the air box.
Then after that, then we cut off the lines for the evap.
Right, to relocate the evap solenoid over to the tab on the tray.
And then once we've got that all done, then we installed the batteries. Okay, Shane, let's go ahead and layer on there. Let's see what it's going to look like.
Okay, the lid goes right in place here.
Okay.
And all the wires line right up with the battery posts.
Your red post, your red, black right over here, and then these two go over here.
Go to the factory post over there. Everything lines right up.
And that's it, and then we just bolt it down.
That's it.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get that done and check out Sam.
Well, Dave, while you were working, I went ahead and installed this little switch. And it's a switch and a gauge. Real simple. Pull off the A-pillar covers. You get a template. You stick it on there. Figure out where you're going to have clearance. Score it with a razor knife. And then you can cut it with a knife, or you can do like I did, drill a pilot hole, use the little saw, clean it up, make a nice, neat hole because the bezel's small. Then, of course, the wires will run through, hook together. You got a little ribbon connector. And now we're all hooked up. And you can see, you know, this is a voltmeter. There's not a voltmeter from the factory on this. So you can see right there, it says main battery, it's 12.8 volts, auxiliary battery, so you can tell the condition of both batteries. It isolates them. If the battery starts to drop off, it'll hook them back together. And it says right there, boost off. This doubles as a boost switch. So instead of having to get out and push it, you just hold this for 3 seconds, and while you're holding it, when it turns color like that, it says boost on. Now both batteries are wired together, so if your cranking battery is low, you can get yourself started. That'll really save you in the woods. Tells the version of the software, it's software upgradable. If both batteries get below 12 volts, then it starts to give you warnings. It'll turn red to give you an indication. You need to do something about your charging system. It's a great way to run all your accessories, not get stuck in the woods, which is worth a fortune. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. We're gonna go ahead and tie this all up nice and neat, put the side panel on, and we'll wrap this up. Right now, we need to take a break. Stick around, we got a lot more coming here at Motorhead Garage.
Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, I'm up here in this big diesel truck. This is a Cummins. It's a turbocharged diesel like all your big trucks. And if they don't have boost, they don't pull. We heard from a viewer who had one of these trucks. He's an over-the-road hauler. And of course, he lost his clamp here. These are special on the boost side. It popped off. The truck won't pull. They just won't pull. He ended up walking for miles to find a clamp that he could make work. So if that, rather than have that happen to you, have a clamp with you no matter what dimension, what size. There's a way to always have the clamp you need, and Dave's got it right over there.
I don't know about you folks out there, but either you don't have a hose clamp or you never have the right one. Well, with the ClampTite here, you'll always have a hose clamp no matter what. And we got Peter Martin here with ClampTite. And Peter, show us exactly how this works. Now, this is like a typical hose clamp here. You can see what it does to your hose, but that doesn't happen with yours. Show me how it works.
It makes a nice concentric ring. It constricts the wire. It doesn't clamp like the old worm style. All you do is take a piece of wire, nothing pre-manufactured, just a piece of wire off of a coil, and you loop it and make a simple half hitch.
Okay.
Go around twice in the same direction.
Back through again.
Back through again. That's the clamp right there. There's nothing more to it. Now we just attach the tool.
Okay.
There's a little notch in the tip of the tool. That's just going to go in the loop of the half hitch. It's going to hold that stationary while it pulls these tag ends in the opposite direction. So I'm going to get this real nice and tight. I'm just going to secure it over the top of the tool, kind of like a bread wrapper tie, and then now the tool is attached, I'm just going to start putting the tension on.
How do you know how tight it should be?
You want the wire to be flush with the hose that you're clamping. That's as a rule of thumb.
Okay.
Then to lock it, you just flip the ClampTite tool over, and you're pretty much done. You just remove the tool, and then clip the wires, leaving just a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. Use the back of the side cutters.
That way you don't get your hand cut on it?
Yeah, you'll never scar your hand on that.
Well, now you can see how that works. Let's see what it does in the real world with Sam.
All right, I got a piece of stainless wire and a tool. All I need is a coach. Come here, Pete. All right, I've got this set up here. I took off this clamp. Now, you know, these are very special clamps they use on these turbocharger hoses. They do break, they fail. If you lose it on the road, you're in trouble. If I got this right, bring it around here, then.
You got it right. You've made a loop.
Slide
Make
that
a
through
half
here.
hitch. Give it a
Okay.
little tug. Now go in the same direction.
In the same direction.
In the
okay?
same direction around once.
You got the feeling like you want to go the opposite way, but I guess not, huh?
Yeah, and a lot of people make that mistake, but that's don't overthink it. It's easier than it looks. And now
Okay.
go through the same loop in the same direction, and you just want to make sure that the wires, each successive loop is in between the last. Now take off the little wire nut
Wire
there.
nut. That comes in the kit, of course.
That comes in the kit, and then just splay those two wires apart and put the notch of the tool,
This way?
yep, on the loop of the half hitch. Now you got a perfect setup there. Take that wire and go over the top of both pins and around one time and
All right.
straight up. The other one, do the same thing
Around the pin and straight up.
and straight up.
Okay.
Don't worry if this isn't in the notch yet, or if
It's
it
in there.
falls out, don't worry about it.
I'm
We'll
in there.
get it in there. Now twist those up like a bread wrapper tie.
Okay.
And the closer you make that to the shaft of the tool, the less slack you'll have to take up. Now tighten it up.
And then just a matter of twisting this.
Yep, give it a little bit of tension. Now stop. Now
Okay.
you can move those wires around. If you can't, loosen it up.
Make
and
them nice and neat.
Make them nice, neatness counts, and then tighten it down.
Great. Here we go. And just go until you feel.
On this one, it's going to be a little bit of feel. Typically, you want to make the wire flush with the hose. This is already pretty compressed, but this
Right.
is a fix-it situation, so
That's pretty
we're
tight
doing
right
what
there.
we can. That looks good.
Right, and what's my next move now?
Flip it over and lock it.
Flip this over like that.
That locks it. Now loosen up this nut right here,
Okay.
and then just pull the shaft of the tool back and out of the way, and now just clip those off, leaving just a little bit less than 1/4 inch. And then just with the back of the side cutters, just tuck those tag ends
Down
into the
inside
clamp.
like that. I
You
see.
bet.
And put that one down there. Wow. Not
Yeah,
sharp
it's-
edges?
It's a nice clean edge.
It's a great way to go. Have any kind of a hose clamp with you all the time. Get you out of trouble whether you got a truck or a boat. We're going to take a quick break. Stick around. We've got a lot more coming here at Motorhead Garage.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Performance Automotive. Getting you there first, that's our passion. Greenball Tires, tires for the road for work and play. Economax, get better performance from your engine. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, Dave and I are up to no good again. You know, if you got one of these half-ton pickup trucks, late model truck, they really ride well. They're softly suspended, but you know, you can overtax them. You start throwing a lot in the bed, and you got some wallow, you got some sway. They're a lot better than they used to be. But here's a way to fix it. This is a Roadmaster active suspension unit. And what it really consists of is a coil spring, a hook for the spring. You don't even have to disassemble the truck. They go on easy. They improve the ride, the handling, they stop wheel hop. Never need adjustment. Once you've got them installed and set up, it's a great way to improve the capacity of your half-one truck and make it a lot more comfortable to drive. Dave's going to show us how easy it is to put one of these on.
I bought this little red Silverado. It's got a little over 50,000 miles on it. I was able to get a good price on it. It's nice and clean and everything, but I just need it for a utility vehicle. But what I did, before I sent in my old truck, I took my active suspension off of it. This is the Roadmaster active suspension. And the reason I did that is because it works so well. I thought, well, I'll put it back on this one, and of course it's going to fit on it. Easy to install. What you have right here, I've taken apart, cleaned it up. What this does is it's going to fit like this. This is going to go over your rear spring here. And it's got a washer. Put this on the back. Run this down with a nut. And you can tighten this up. It's not a bad deal at all. What I like to do is kind of just put everything a little bit loose on there and then tighten everything up later on once I get it mounted. And now we'll slide it up like so. Now, here's where it goes. It goes back here over your rear spring like this. This collar here is going to slide down over your axle like so. Now you got a roller right here. Now I just snugged this up. I didn't tighten it up yet. I'm gonna wait until I get everything on. Real simple. This is gonna slide in this tube like so. My gosh, this almost fits perfect here. Let me slide this in. Get the bolt in here and tighten that up. And once I have that tight, that's what I want right there. Once you have this thing on, boy, I'll tell you what, it's easy to adjust. I like to just get it snugged up here good. And then I'll go around, I'll tighten everything. Now, to adjust it, what you got to do is you can turn this spring. And you got a nut right here to allow you to do that. What you want to do is you want to expand it, and the way you measure it, so you know you have the right amount of preload on it, with a quarter. It's about all it takes. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start to tighten this up. Let's see what we got here. And these things go on so easy. No problem putting them on. All right, let's see. There we go. Just about perfect. Now, all I have to do is go ahead, tighten up my jam nuts back here, and we're going to be in good business. We've run out of time once again. We'll see you again next time here at Motorhead Garage.